The loan process from beginning to end. This is about a mortgage loan. You're buying a home. You want to know what to expect. I've got it all lined out here for you. So the first thing is to get referrals to both realtors and lenders. There's nothing like a trusted referral from a friend or family member on a realtor and or a lender that they have used in the past and had good experience with. Next, you want to identify a realtor. Now, most realtors are going to want you to be pre-approved before you go out and shop for a home. You need to be ready to make an offer. So the realtor and the lender many times work in conjunction. They don't need to know each other, but they definitely need to communicate. The next thing that you want to make sure to do after you've chosen a realtor and narrowed down lenders is pre-approve. Now, don't be shy to pre-approve with a few different lenders. Definitely not all lenders are created equal. Service, promptness, access, response time, those are all very important things. So when you start to look for lenders, and I have a video on how to choose a lender, make sure you watch it on our YouTube channel, and we'll put it down here in the comments actually, how to choose a lender. So you want to get pre-approved as soon as possible so you can go out with confidence and be looking at homes and be prepared to make an offer on one if it suits you. The next thing that you're going to do after the pre-approval is go and look for homes with your realtor in your budgeted and approved price range. Now again, you need the pre-approval letter in hand to be able to make an offer to show the seller that you are indeed qualified. So you're going to go out. This process could take weeks to months. The timeline is up to you. But this period of uncertainty, because you're looking for the home, if you do have any changes, make sure to let your lender know. Things like big purchases that might affect your credit or a job change. You definitely need to let your lender know that so they can make sure how that might affect, decrease or increase your financing. So make sure to keep in touch with your lender during this period. Now, the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to find a home and you're going to make an offer. Make sure that you involve the lender in the offer so they can fresh the letter, have a fresh date, do a sweep review of your credentials to make sure that nothing has changed, and have a letter again with the address and a fresh date on it. And they can vouch for you by calling the listing agent, hopefully. I know we do that for our clients, to make sure that the seller knows that you're indeed super qualified to buy this house. So this is that negotiation offer period. Now, after that's over, you're going to have a signed, executed contract that the buyer and the seller have both signed. That means that it is go time. So go time means that the clock is definitely ticking. You want to be in connection with your lender as quickly as possible. This super crucial turning point is when indeed you can lock in the terms of your loan. So I'm going to repeat this. When you're under contract is the time when you can lock your loan in. The interest rate lock is tied to the property and the borrower, of course, but the property address. So you want to be in communication with your lender as quickly as possible, and that is when you're going to lock the loan. I would not wait until after inspections, etc. Rates can change at any time, so have that conversation super early in the process with your lender. Now, also this first week of contract, I always tell buyers it's super busy. You're working with the realtor on getting inspections, definitely inspect the property. You're talking to the lender about your loan details, and you're also working with the title company and or attorney, depending on the state that you live in. So there's all these 3-4 people that are sending you emails and having phone calls and decisions that you need to make. So the first week of buying a home is always the busiest. So just be prepared, be organized, be on top of your email, so you'll get through it just fine. Now, after that, the loan is being fully processed. Things are being verified within 30 days of your closing, freshening up, verifications of employment, credit. If your credit was, more than 90 days old, the lender will refresh your credit. They're getting updated pay stubs and bank statements just to prove what they did in the pre-approval to freshen everything up. So expect that you're going to need to give a little bit more documentation. Now, at the same time, remember, you're working with your realtor on inspections, renegotiating maybe the price or repairs, what have you, and you're also working with questions that the title company might have to make sure that you get clear title to the property. Now, all of this process takes anywhere from 30 to 45 days, depending on where you live, the turn times of things. An appraisal is done, a title check is done. All of these things are done in that go time from the contract start. And at the finish line, that is your closing. So again, you're going to be very in contact with your lender. They're going to coach you and show you documentation on the final numbers, the cash to close. You're going to get a cashier's check or a wire. Now, this is a super important point, actually. There's been a lot of wire fraud, so be sure to check with the title company or attorney, again, depending on the state that you live, if a cashier's check or a wire or both is acceptable. This is a super important point. Then you're going to show up at the closing. It's either going to be at the title office or the attorney office. Mobile notaries are in fashion now after the pandemic. So double check and make sure you know where you're going to be closing. If you're going to be out of town or need a power of attorney, you have to get that approved by your lender for sure. The day of closing, this is very important. If you live in Texas, you need your spouse. It's a community property state. Your spouse will need to be present at the closing. The other thing you need is a valid ID. So right now, pull out your driver's license or your passport. Make sure that it's not expired. You will need it the day of closing, or it will be very uncomfortable when you can't buy the house on that day. So make sure your ID, your government issued ID, is fully viable and ready to go. So this is it. This is, in a nutshell, the home buying process from beginning to end. Be sure to check out my other videos on the YouTube channel here, Loan with Jen. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share us with a friend. If you're in Texas, call me. Talk to you soon.